Hi everyone, at this point, the outlook is clearly bearish. And not just mildly bearish, we're looking to short. Some may wonder the Nasdaq still seems strong, right? Especially after Wednesday's rally. But no, not really. On this time frame, the Nasdaq has gone sideways for 5 weeks, same with the Dow 5 weeks of weekly consolidation. Let's check the S&P 500. Also flat on the weekly chart for 5 straight weeks. It could drop anytime. Now let's look at some key pre-market names. What's going on with them? Let's take a closer look. First, Tesla. On the weekly chart, there's no sign of an uptrend. It spiked then pulled back. Now it's opening slightly higher, up 0.14%, but yesterday's move showed clear weakness. Why is it weak? It failed to hold above the intraday VWAP, repeatedly failed to stay above it. That's not a good sign. Next, let's take a look at Nvidia. At this level, it looks stronger than Tesla, but check Nvidia's weekly chart, also stuck in a 5-week range. It can break higher, and it could fall at any time. The daily chart doesn't look good either. Pre-market is opening lower. A drop may be starting. Right here, you need to watch out for risk. Many people say semiconductors are holding up in the index, so the Nasdaq won't fall. Markets don't just go up forever. No stock can grow to the sky. So be cautious here. Yes, manage your risk. Third, let's look at PLTR. PLTR has been hot lately. Big orders from NATO and from the Middle East too. Plenty of headlines. The market's been hyping it like it's unstoppable. But what now? I think overall PLTR has little upside left. It's time to turn bearish. Bulls are on their last legs. We really don't need to chase it at this stage. It's not worth it. Too much risk, too little reward. Just stay out of it. PLTR's recent rally, what's the driver? Fundamentals did improve a lot. Yes, significantly improved. We have to admit one thing, they secured a lot. First, federal and state governments are pushing for unified data sharing. This was initiated under Trump. Plus, these tech firms, it's not that their tech mode is so unbeatable. It's mainly because they serve defense and security and provide data center services to the government. In this area, PLTR has built strong technical and experiential moats. Even Google and Microsoft can't catch up in the short term. So with the NATO contracts, the war in the Middle East, it does benefit them. These are positive catalysts for PLTR, but overall the stock price is high. Honestly, I think it's very inflated, way too high. As for PLTR, on the weekly chart, it's a high volume doji. Yesterday's candle was green, but it didn't close strong at this point. It's hard to do anything with it. You call that a green candle, but it couldn't hold the gain. It couldn't close strong. So now what? There's nothing we can do. Yeah, so I'd say be cautious here. For stocks like PLTR at these highs, if you're long, it's time to get out and start shifting to the short side. Third stock. Let's talk about Meta. Yeah, Meta's also been pretty hot lately. But Meta honestly, while the Nasdaq rose yesterday, it actually dropped. Look at this. The intraday chart tells the story. Classic intraday distribution pattern. Very typical distribution move. Also failed to hold above VWAP, opened with a gap down again. Look for every opportunity to short Meta. Don't assume it's worth much right now. In my view, given the current setup, Shorting looks like the safer play. There's no real long-term value here right now. So Meta, that's Zuckerberg's company. How to put it? All its core businesses rely on existing users. There's nothing really new. No new growth engines at all. Yeah, nothing innovative. So the current level isn't attractive. As for Meta as a whole, its tech moat or competitive edge mostly comes from legacy platforms like WhatsApp, just existing products. It's mainly WhatsApp driving ad revenue. That's where the money comes from. This kind of company has over 90% of its income from ads. As for the so-called new initiatives like AI or whatever, still just in the concept stage, still no real substance. Facebook itself is okay, besides WhatsApp. The Facebook segment is still quite active, it's doing fairly well. But again, it all relies on legacy businesses. What does it mean? It's just a cash cow, no breakout product. And without a star product, it's tough. So in the short term, Meta is a tough play. Apple. Let's get straight to the point with Apple. Honestly, as long as Trump is in office again, I think Apple is a long-term short. Why? Consumer electronics, especially this sector, has limited growth potential now. New markets are hard to find. During Trump's term, the biggest risk is tariffs could be imposed anytime. Once tariffs hit, Apple doesn't really have much to do, literally nothing. Just sit back. That's a risk Apple faces. So overall, Apple's outlook is weak. And another thing, what else? Its biggest downside risk, aside from tariffs, is its lack of innovation. When it comes to new businesses, there's really not much. They tried electronic vehicles, didn't work. Tried cloud computing, still no breakthrough. Overall, nothing impressive. No clear new growth drivers. iPhone went from 12 to 16. Soon there will be 18, 19, 20, but so what? What difference does it make? It's all still based on Steve Jobs' foundation. They're just building on the system Jobs created, extending it again and again without real innovation. No original breakthroughs. It's been like this for years. That's widely acknowledged. So during this US market rally, Apple only moved from 170 to 210. 170 to 210. Not bad, but nothing spectacular either. Yes, it's a good company. To be precise, it's a cash cow. A solid cash cow. But what's missing? There's no new source of growth. If they keep recycling old ideas, it's not promising. So at this level, watch out. Overall, I think we should stay bearish here, especially on tech stocks. There are not many bright spots left. That includes semiconductors like AMD and others. Short term, none look strong. In the short term, they're all facing big corrections. So, my advice stay bearish, focus on short setups. How far can semis really hold the index? Not very far, not far at all.